Hey you guys, Dani here and welcome to Walkthrough Wednesday. Today, I am so excited. We are doing the wrong way. We are doing the Revival Art Tarot. So pumped about this. I love this deck. Anyway, as always, stay tuned after the walkthrough for a midweek reading. If you're looking for me, all my links are below in the description where you can find me on Instagram, email, Etsy, where you can book a personal reading, Patreon, and much, much more. So without further ado, I'll see you on the other side. So here is the Revival Art Tarot. This comes in a really nice tuck box. There's a little bit of tearing where the opening is, but I mean, a tuck box is a tuck box. As far as the guidebook goes, it's very small. It doesn't really explain why they used the art that they did, and mine came in a little bit stuck at the bottom. But all in all, it's just a regular little white book in black form. So as the sizing goes, this is a bigger deck. You can see that it's a little taller and a little wider than a standard size tarot, but the way that the cardstock is, which is this like matte rosy finish, it is flexible enough, as you'll see when I do my shuffling, that the size is not an issue. So these beautiful images are absolutely stunning. They're not blurry. It looks like you are staring at the original painting, like you could walk through it. It's got such depth and the colors are so vibrant. And I have to say, they did a fantastic job at selecting pieces of artwork that flow with the tarot. They are exceptionally easy to read. I feel like they follow the Rider-Waite-Smith system incredibly well. You can see the meanings within these cards and they're easily recognizable. I find that they really depict beautiful scenes in which you can draw so much from, because even when it's just a face, our court cards, you can see those facial expression, these features that make everything kind of come alive. So I do appreciate the glorious artwork within this deck. Can you tell I'm fangirling? I totally am. I really have nothing negative to say about this deck. I like the little borders that surround it. They're just like some little, what do you call it? Maybe like filigree. They have the circle at the top, which shows you what card it is. At the bottom, it shows the suit. So I really like the way that it's laid out. I don't find it distracting at all, which I really appreciate because some of it can get pretty distracting. And the borders are almost non-existent, right? It's just that little line, so I really do love that. So it feels very freeing for the artwork. And if you're like me and love to take photos of your decks, this is perfect cardstock for it. Like I said, it's got that rose finish, so there's no glare no matter which way you position your lighting and take your pictures. It's really, really great. I've been having this on my desk since I got it. I've been doing path working with this deck. By far one of my favorites. I would even say my absolute favorite as of right now. And speaking of cardstock, you can see how easily these move. Look at how bendy they are. They're not stiff, especially for big cards, right? Like my Moonchild Tarot, they're big cards. I could go with a little bit thinner. If they were made like this one, it would be even better. And look at those pretty backs. So I wanted to show you these because there's something about the aces that I absolutely love. There are no people in it. You can just see these dynamic pictures of what it's portraying, the coin, the cup. It's just so beautiful. And I kind of wanted to share that with you because by far these are some of my favorite aces. So my favorites of the deck I chose for my Major Arcana, the World card. I love this piece of art. I love the Venus vibes that it's got. I love the visual where it still looks like everything is surrounding this beauty in the center. Kind of that whole circle of infinity of starting anew and ending the old. I just really love it. For my court card, I chose the King of Coins, and he is my favorite because of the path working that I did with this card, the character development, if you will. He is one of my favorites. I love his facial expression. I just feel like I know this man. Very, very reminiscent of a grandfather figure. And I feel like that's exactly what this card needs to be. So I do love him. And then for my minor arcana, I loved the depiction of the Six of Cups. The old woman pushing the little girl in the swing. All I could think of is Linen. She's very close to her great-grandparents. And it just reminded me of that type of relationship. And I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So those are my favorites. All right, you guys, let's get right into our midweek reading. Let's go ahead, oh, that was loud, and do just a simple one this week. What do we need to focus on? Oh, and not throw cards all over the floor. What do we need to focus on for the rest of the week? We have the wheel. I love this. I feel like this is a perfect one to end this week out, because when I think of the wheel, especially this woman spinning, right? Sometimes things are good and sometimes things are not. It's not because you've done something wrong per se. It's not because of this, that, and the other, but because we live in a space where energy is constantly ebbing and flowing. You don't always know if you're gonna do, if you're gonna do something right. Sometimes the spinner jams and there's nothing you can do about it. You didn't do anything wrong. This is just something that happens. And I feel like for the rest of the week, we just have to kind of flow with it. If we get a kink in the wheel, if our spool of thread is a mess, then we just sit back and we unknot it and we move along. We restring, redo, and kind of keep going. And I love that sentiment. It's like, we're not always going to be up and we're not always going to be down. It is a roller coaster of a whirlwind of life, and that's okay. So I feel like for the rest of the week, that's what we have to hold within our hearts. So you guys, I hope that helps in some way, shape, or form. Let me know what you think of this deck. Be nice. It's my favorite. So I hope to hear from you guys soon. I will definitely be popping up very shortly. So make sure that you like and subscribe because it really helps me out, and I will see you guys soon. Sending you all my love. Mwah! Later, Gators.